Ole, we're like a week and a half, maybe it's about 2 weeks into this new narrative when it comes to Donald Trump and the black vote. And the new narrative and the new tack is now that Donald Trump is a convicted felon, 34 counts, he is suddenly more appetizing and can relate to black voters. Now, if that sounds at all racist, that's because it is. It is a very bigoted, racist thing to say and assume. But people like Senator Tim Scott are kind of banking on this. So Tim Scott, again, the only black Republican in the Senate, this is according to the New York Times, views former President Trump's 34 felony convictions as politically positive for his party, a circumstance that will help increase black and Hispanic support in November. Quote, the decision last week is actually helpful to driving more folks to the Republican Party, he told reporters, adding that convictions would help conservatives win over black men who are, quote, so fed up with this two-tier justice system. And if you needed this, here is Trump himself before the conviction, but echoing the same thing.
I think that's why the black people are so much on my side now, because they see what's happening to me happens to them. Does that make sense? I've heard that.
Okay. So those are politicians, Ole. We got other people to weigh in on this, but maybe just your reaction. I know you've seen this discourse. We had he was rolling out the sneakers. I mean, I'd literally when will he just put on blackface? We are so close to that level of overt racism. But tell me your thoughts.
I so deeply don't care. I can't. Let me tell you why, Fran. These things are just meant to upset black people. What they want is they want me to see it. They want me as a black person to be like, I'm enraged. That's so racist. How dare you say that about me, a black person, and go and run on. But it's that's what they think of us. They think of, I know that because they're trying to speak to the exact reality that they would dismiss if we said it, right? The Republicans, Donald Trump, these people, right? Shoots, even a lot of the Democrats, right? But specifically the Republicans, the right are the main ones who refuse to acknowledge that a criminal system is racist. They refuse to acknowledge that black people experience racism in this country. They refuse to acknowledge discrimination when it comes to black people. Somehow they always know that it's in reverse, right? They somehow always believe in the premise suddenly when they want to use it for their advantage, right? Because if anybody had Donald Trump just said on any other occasion, the criminal system is racist against black people and black people are being railroaded, they would be booing from the stadiums, right? Let's be clear. He's not saying that to an audience of black people. He is saying that to an audience of white people. Just like Tim Scott is saying that to an audience of white people. Black people are not voting Republican, just like black people don't listen to Tim Scott. Black people didn't vote Tim Scott in office, so black people don't give a fuck. These are things that they are just saying to other racist white people and hope and that's all it's for. So for me, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Right. It's to make themselves feel better, in the most paternalistic, gross way possible. But I mean, you also hear it echoed from, and he is also not, just like Tim Scott, not representative of, I think, most black voters, but 50 Cent, who I used to like, maybe. He was on Capitol Hill. This was apparently some surprise visit because he wants to more representation of black entrepreneurs in the liquor industry. Also, he's mad at Suntory or whiskey or some crap. I don't know. It's very self-interested, obviously. But he was asked by, I believe, a CBS reporter about, Donald Trump and the black vote. And here's what he had to say.
Have you made a decision?
I haven't.
What do you see as the significance of African-American men in this election? Thank you, everybody. For both of you.
I see them identifying with Trump.
Why do you say that?
Because they got RICO charges.
Because they got RICO charges. Oh, shots fired at Fonnie Willis for some of this. But anyway, Ole, we are in the upside down.
I think, listen, you know what? Here's what I find frustrating. There are countless black experts, black political pundits, black intellectuals, black thinkers, and they are available and they're offering the opinions and they're there, right? But 50 Cent or whoever else, these things are racist and offensive, and not just on the part of Republicans, but Democrats too, and whoever trots these people up to the White House. Because why? I'm tired of but why are black people's representatives at the White House 50 Cent? And I don't even mean that to 50 Cent is trolling and 50 Cent doesn't give a fuck. It's important to remember that And listen, I don't have a problem with 50 Cent in terms of what 50 Cent is, like what he is there for. I have 2 of 50 Cent's books on my bookcase, which is how I know for a fact 50 Cent don't give a fuck. Like, this is absolutely 50 Cent is trolling. 50 Cent is looking for the attention and whatever comes with his own commercial interests. And if you ever read his own words, he'd be the first one to tell you that that's his priority. So he's not being serious. But the problem is that that's what gets used as though to represent Black America, right? And they never care. They don't seem to care about the Black Congress. Like, they don't care about your Black congressmen like Jamal Bowman, who don't support that. They don't care about the Black thinkers. They don't care about the Black pundits. They don't care about that. But it's like, oh, 50 Cent said it. 50 Cent and Donald Trump. So like, the Black perspective has been heard. So it's like, I'm not even gonna.
And
like,
Tim
I just
Scott.
don't care. It's like,
Don't forget about Tim Scott.
Oh, listen.
I mean, and it manifests itself, speaking of white people talking to other white people about this, it manifests itself, I feel like it is, because he's got a massive platform, it is important to like see how folks like Joe Rogan are taking a piss out of this. And he's laughing when he's saying this, because I think he knows exactly what you're saying, that this is bad faith, that this is ultimately racist, and that Donald Trump's, like, the way that the justice system handled him has nothing to do with the way it handles 99.99999% of most people.
Yes.
So many rappers are showing support for Trump now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because now he's got a felony.
Right.
Right. I mean, like, now they realize also he's getting trapped by the system, just like everybody's been rapping about, being trapped by this system, this bullshit system. And
shut the fuck up. This bullshit system.
Like, it's just like, and they just be talking a bunch of fuck shit. You just get to talk. It's so sickening. It's like so many rappers are showing, like, so many. Could you please give me
name all of them,
of the so many rappers? Sexy Red and 50 Cent both made 2 offhanded remarks, one of whom will probably not vote and the other who will vote in his own personal interest, and it probably won't be Republican. Like, that's the thing. It's just like, who gives a, like, honestly, the problem comes, these are white people problems, and let me explain to you what I mean by this. And no, I'm so serious.
No, I appreciate it.
They're talking to white people. They are talking for white people. And these are people that white people have platformed. Joe Rogan is up there because white people listen to him like fucking gospel, right? Donald Trump, that's white people's own. That's all. These are internal, in-house white problems. And that's why all these racist, stupid ass things keep getting said. But they are not going to upset me because I've been Black my whole life. I already know. Like, so I'm just not, I just don't care.
Follow up, Ole. Tim Scott is Veep. His name has been floated. Do you see it happening?
Tim Scott? No. No, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. And Donald Trump would be sinking his campaign, but that'll never happen because, listen, there's a thing, right? Let me give you the scholarly analysis of it, right? There's a book called Faces at the Bottom of the Well by critical race theorist Derek Bell. And he would talk about how there's always, like, the best way to describe the phenomenon is there's always a Black person willing to go speak against the group, to go be the token, in hopes that, like, by forsaking the larger group of Black people, white people, specifically racist, will embrace you as, like, thank you for parroting that talking point, for being the Black person that'll say the thing like, oh, as a Black person, I don't think this is racist. As a Black person, I don't think this is a problem. As a Black person, I like this, right? And the problem with that is the cost for doing business in that lane is way too high. Like, what happens to, like, how Ben Carson and Herman Cain and Stacey Dash and Omarosa and all these people get discarded. They get discarded. They will never be rewarded. There is no reward that great for doing that, selling out your community. So no, Tim Scott will only be someone who in 4 years, if you say Tim Scott's name, people will have to think twice. The same way if I say Herman Cain, you're like, is that him or Ben Carson? He alive? He dead? You're not sure. Exactly.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.